Lorena Castro, Vice President of Binational Central California, is not only an inspiring leader, but an advocate for mental health. After receiving her diagnosis of systemic scleroderma, she has chosen to transform her experience and uplift others that are facing their own battles. She is the co-founder of a mental health advocacy that has touched the lives of more than 300 people. She is an example of what it means to shine in the community and make a difference. Please join me in welcoming Claudia Castellano Castro.
Hola. Hola a todos. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí. Thank you everyone for being here today. After hearing Andrea's story, pues thank you, Andrea, for sharing your story. It's really inspiring, and I feel like that's the purpose of this conference, to share your story and shine your light. ¿Dónde están mis notas? Espérenme. Thank you so much to Camarena Health for inviting me to give this speech and to give me the opportunity to share my story. So here we go. So heal your mind, shine your light. Sana tu mente y brilla. Porque no nada más tenemos que sanar nuestro cuerpo, tenemos que sanar nuestra mente. Y les voy a explicar por qué. ¿Quién sabe dónde está Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua? Does anyone know where Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua is?
Yep.
Of course, my family knows. Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua. It's it's a border town in El Paso and Mexico. So the biggest state of Mexico is Chihuahua, and Texas is the biggest state of the United States, I believe. Yeah?
Yes, you're good.
So they're together, and Juárez is right in the border town. And I'll show you the map. Technical difficulty, sorry. So there it is. So the Ciudad Juárez is important because I was born there. I was born on February 18, 1991, and I grew up there until I was 12. Ahí crecí hasta los 12 años, y we came to Disneyland in 2004, and that was fun, and we decided to stay because it was so much fun here. So we stayed, and I experienced firsthand the life of an immigrant. I realized when I finished high school that I wasn't legal in this country. So I finally, in 2012, I was able to become a DACA recipient and see the other side of this beautiful country, which is able to work and able to actually showcase your skills and not be just behind the restaurants or cleaning houses. I was able to actually prepare myself, and then preparation met with opportunity, and I was able to do different things in 2012. And also in 2012, I became a single mom of a beautiful baby. There's my baby. Wave. And that's the chapter 2 of my life. It's Binational of Central California. Who in this room works in Binational of Central California?
Woo!
So how did that start? So I met my best friend, and we share a bonding over our shared passion for service. We share the passion for service. Sorry, me pongo nerviosa, no me juzguen. And then we started doing that and serving the community. And we started doing a project together called Movimiento Latino. And shortly after, that turned into Binational Central California. We secured our first grant in 2020, and since then, there was only 3 of us, and shortly after, we were able to hire 40 people. to work, and now it's our team here. And this month, we were able to open our first office in San Diego, California. I have some pictures from the past. Before the grants existed, we were raised money by doing car washes. There's me washing cars. I know how to wash a car if you ever need it.
I don't.
We would collect toys from donations. We would do our work meals just with donations of our friends and family. And we just did what we love to do. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know that could be a job that we could do. And that's us. And then we also did a little TV show, where we would gather information from local CBOs and connect them to the person. So we would gather the information for them, and we would connect them to the right help that they needed. And then a peak happened. Something happened. So in 2020, I was diagnosed with systemic scleroderma, also called systemic sclerosis. So that affects many systems in the body. This is the most serious type of scleroderma, and of course, that's the one I have. I always have, what's best. So, and that can damage your blood vessels, the internal organs, such as heart, lungs, and kidneys. In my case, my lungs are the ones compromised. That is also called an interstitial lung disease. And that's a group of lung conditions that causes scarring of fibrosis of lung tissues. And this can cause shortness of breath and dry cough. And that's a picture of this lady who had scleroderma, late detection, so her scleroderma progressed a little fast. So what happens, you start losing mobility. It has a lot of physical deformation and also hand deformations. But that wasn't all. So I got diagnosed with that, but that was only my physical pain and body. What was actually having the hardest time with was my mental health.
Emmanuel.
So I was diagnosed in 2020, and it took me a year to finally recognize that it wasn't only my body who was hurting, but my mental health. So in 2020, I decided to share this with my doctor and said, hey, you know what? I think I need help. And she said, right on. We filled out paperwork, and in that paperwork, she asked me, would you rather have this in English or in Spanish? And I said, oh, that's an option, great. I'll do it in Spanish. And I waited 3 months to be seen. Mind you, I was having a really hard time. And I went to my appointment, and the person who was there, he didn't have an idea that I requested Spanish. So we went past that question, and we proceeded with the appointment. But I could only think in the field that I work, with the community we serve, we have 3 main barriers. We have the communication barrier, which is the language, the education, and health. Gracias. And so I could only think, like Andrea when he saw Liam, what if it happened to someone that we serve? First of all, it took me a year to recognize and ask for help. We would have lost someone, because in the ideal cases, people just suffer from anxiety or depression. But the worst part of mental health is that people decide that they don't want to be here anymore. So that's where I was fortunate enough to have a psychologist in my family, and I asked for help, and she referred me to her colleague, which I started receiving services from a therapist from Mexico in my language, and I just started my treatment. So when you see people angry or negative, sometimes they're not just mad at life, sometimes they're going through something. So that's why I showed my little anxiety iceberg. Does someone know what's therapy? Anyone here? Have you ever? Thank you. So to me, therapy, perdón, ¿alguien sabe de aquí qué es una terapia o qué es la terapia?
Yo, Fabi.
Sí, sí. Okay, so therapy, it's an act of intelligence and courage. It's not easy to recognize that you need to go get help for your mind, because our mind doesn't hurt, right? Our mind doesn't bleed. Our mind doesn't show any signs of, well, it does, but I'll show you later, of pain, physical pain. So we don't pay attention to it. We keep walking with a broken mind. We stop walking if we have a leg broken, but if we have our mind broken, we keep doing our lives. Therapy is professional advice. I know we all like the chisme. I know we all like to talk to our friends about our problems. But at times, our friends, our family, our loved ones don't have the right answer, or don't have the most educated, or what's best for you in your health. So when you go to therapy, you're talking to a professional. Not only to a professional, but to a person that has the tools for you to keep fighting, for you to fix yourself. It helps you to get to know yourself. We are often so curious about other people. We are often so curious about knowing what happened to P. Diddy, or thank you, Beyonce. But we forget to know ourselves. And that's the person you're living with, the person you're sleeping with, the person who is with you 24/7. And we omit that person at times, often. It helps you change limited beliefs. We often believe that, I don't know, silly things that we never question ourselves. We never question things that we learned in the past when we were little, when it was other times, other generations, and now we're trying to live by those beliefs in 2024. So therapy helps you to question if that you learned when you were little works now for your life, works now for the field that you're in, works now for the family that you're trying to live, and we never stop and question if, I know in our culture it's hard to question our parents, but you gotta question because we're all different people. Even if you grew up in the same family, some people turn out to be different, and that's okay. We often see differences as a barrier, as a defecto, but it's not. Differences are good because we're learning from each other. And also don't believe your thoughts and always question them. And that's what therapy did for me. But what kind of therapy you might be questioning yourself? Terapia cognitiva conductual. And I'll let you review that while I drink water. Okay, here's what the pop quiz is going to do.
Pop quiz.
So, what is therapy of conductive behavior? So you have a situation, and then you have a conduct. But all of those turn either north or south depending on your beliefs, your thoughts, and your emotions. Because for some people, cancer could be devastating. For Andrea, depending on her beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, it's an inspiration, it's a power. And this is why therapy is important in God, because everyone experiences different things in their lives. And that's going to determine your conduct, your behavior. Maybe someone look at you in the wrong way, and for someone could be, oh, she's just looking at me, maybe she's sad. And for someone that could be a potential spark for a fight. But we keep forgetting that we are connected, this with this, and all the organs of our body. And we keep ignoring that sickness, like in my case, that it's just because, oh, maybe I was born with it, maybe my pregnancies did something in my hormones and now I'm sick. But everything that in the past, future, and present, I was thinking led me to my body to express himself. Our body talks. And that's what I'm trying to discover. Why did I get sick? What was I thinking? What was I eating? Everything matters. What you're eating, what you're thinking, what you're doing, your surroundings, everything matters as a whole. Autoimmune diseases and their relationship with mental health. Doing this presentation, actually, I discovered that 50% of systemic scleroderma patients face mental health issues, especially depression and anxiety. The chronic and unpredictable nature of the disease heightens the psychological burden. And I want to thank to Dr. Tatiana Pardo, who provided all these articles for me, that if you're interested, I can share with you. And then also, that's her Instagram, if you are interested in contacting her. Bilingual as well. Resilience and finding purpose. So, no es lo que te pasa, es cómo reaccionas a lo que te pasa. And this beautiful art was created by people who also suffer anxiety and depression, some of them hallucinations. But they decided that they were going to create art and express themselves, their like Frida, the broken colon, she turned her pain and anguish into powerful art. How do I find my search for meaning? I try to break the stigma by sharing my story, by sharing that going to the psychologist is not because you're crazy or that something is wrong with you. So I just put myself out there and share that, yes, I'm going to therapy, yes, I'm struggling, but I'm still a mom, I'm still a daughter, and I'm still the vice president. And also, to be your best advocate, to find, learn about your disease, because you have to go to the doctor and advocate for yourself. No one else is going to do it. Like in therapy, no one else can go to the therapist and work on you. You have to do it. And that's the challenge. You have to start being responsible for yourself. And also pay it forward. If you know something, share it with us. If you discover the right recipe for anything, share it with us. We're here in life to do life together. No one is doing nothing alone. For this presentation, I gathered a group of doctors, friends that I was practicing doing this presentation. My family is here supporting me, my husband, my daughter. No one is doing anything alone. At work, we have a team of members who are working with us. And we need to stop thinking that yes, the journey of mental health might feel lonely. You're never doing anything alone. And I want to share with you, a recommendation to the book of Victor Eric Frankl, Man's Secret for Meaning. And I'll share my favorite quote. When we are no longer able to change our situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So this is how I found my purpose. With Binational, I started taking therapy, and then between me and a few friends and my therapist, developed Teleterapias. That was just fun. That was just a pilot program. And then Ricardo, our CEO, was always hearing what's going on, what are you guys doing? So then Andrea, Ricardo started writing grants, and they found the Heroes Grant with Sierra Health Foundation. And then we now have in Binational a health and wellness department, all because of the scleroderma. From July and September, our medical team are helping 1,009 and counting people who are getting therapy. And then I just wanted to share that I love to dance. That's one of the activities that I'm not able to do as much anymore because I get really tired. I get hypervented and I start coughing. But that was one of the things I would do like no one else. Like if you invite me to your party or quinceañera, I wouldn't even talk to you. I would just go and dance from 6 to 12. If you wanted to talk to me, you could take me out to dance and we'll talk. So yeah, those are the things that I used to love. I can't do anymore. I can do, but in moderation. But I really miss it. And this is why I'm going to ask you to stand up. We're going to do a little exercise. So you're right. Perdón. So we're going to stand up. And I love this song because it talks about my town. But for this presentation, I decided to create a mantra for all of us. This is my gift to you. So this is my song that talks about my town where I was born. But I decided to turn it into a mantra, and I changed the word Juarez, which is the name of my town, for I am. And then we're working on the song, but just when you hear Juarez, it's going to be you. You are strong, you are beautiful. Y no me acuerdo las palabras, pero todo eso son ustedes. Entonces lo vamos a hacer y vamos a bailar. Y no se preocupen si nos están viendo. Eso es, bueno, ahí puse que el baile ayuda a la salud mental. Entonces, vamos a escuchar a Juan Gabriel. Y la canción. Música, maestro.
¿Ese es Juárez?
Vas a bailar, ¿ok? Muchas gracias. Ya con esto terminamos. Pero bailen bien, no se acaban hasta que termine la canción. ¿Qué pues? Bailen. Baila. Empieza la